Pennies.
All right.
Please rise. This is the Circuit Criminal Division is now in session. Arnold, Judge Capel presiding. Everyone but the jury may be seated. Miss Knight. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly listen to this case and render a true verdict and fair sentence to this defendant?
I do.
Members of the jury, your duty today is to determine whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty based only on facts and evidence provided in this case. The prosecution has the burden of proving the guilt of the defendant beyond a reasonable doubt. This burden remains on the prosecution through the trial. The prosecution must prove that a crime was committed and that the defendant is the person who committed the crime. However, if you are not satisfied of the defendant's guilt to that extent, then reasonable doubt exists, and the defendant must be found not guilty. Ms. Knight, what is today's case?
Your Honor, today's case is the Crown versus Singh.
Is the prosecution ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here today to present the case of the Crown against Ali Singh, who stands charged with theft, assault, and uttering threats. The charges stem from a deeply flawed incident where the accused allegedly backed Miss King to a wall at gunpoint, stole $25 and an iPod, and left her in a state of fear and distress. While it is true that no gun or iPod were recovered, the lack of these items does not negate the seriousness of the crime or the evidence supporting these charges. The $25 that was taken from Morgan was found in Ali Singh's possession shortly after the incident, corroborating Morgan's account of the theft. Additionally, Morgan King will testify about the traumatic experience describing how Ali Singh threatened her with a gun, a threat that left her genuinely terrified for her life. We'll present witnesses who can attest to Ms. King's statement immediately following the incident, allowing us to see the fear and distress she endured. Moreover, we will provide evidence that supports Ms. King's consistent and credible accounts of the event, highlighting the improbable fact that she fabricated this detailed story. The law is clear. Individuals who use threats and violence to intimidate and rob others must be held accountable. The Crown will demonstrate that Ali Singh's actions on that day were not of an innocent teenager, but of someone who chose to engage in criminal behavior. We ask that you consider all the evidence presented, the testimony of Morgan King, and the striking details that support her testimony. We are confident that you will find Ali Singh guilty of the charges against her, delivering justice for Morgan King and reaffirming the safety and integrity of our community. Thank you.
Prosecution, you may call your first witness.
I call to the stand.
Witness, please stand and be sworn in by the court, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Could you tell the court your name, please?
My name is Dakota Lynn.
Welcome. Could you tell the court your occupation?
I'm a police officer.
And how long have you been in that force?
7 years.
So you are well seasoned in your job. With that said, could you start by describing the events which occurred at the scene?
On Saturday, October 19th, during the night shift at around 4:10 p.m., I got a call to Lawrence West subway station on the southbound platform. I entered the station, motioned to the TTC staff member, and I told the member there would be a reported disturbance. I told the staff member told me that I did not hear anything unusual, and then I made my way over to Miss King, where I found her and Miss Singh and the woman who made the call.
When you arrived at this scene of the crime, how was Ms. King acting?
Miss King seemed distraught and shaken up when I arrived to her aid.
Now, during being arrested, how was the accused acting?
She seemed confused as to why she was being arrested.
And one more question, does the accused have a criminal record?
Not to my knowledge.
No further questions, Your Honor.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
How long did it take you to arrive at the station after receiving the call?
10 minutes.
What did the TTC staff say when you asked about the disturbance?
He said that he had not noticed anything unusual.
What exactly did Morgan King tell you about the incident?
She said that she had been robbed of $25 and an iPad by gunpoint.
How did Morgan identify Ali Singh as one of the individuals involved?
She pointed to Ali Singh and said she was the person who robbed her.
Did you find a gun or the stolen iPod on Ali Singh or on any premises of the station?
I found the $25, but I did not find the gun or the iPod.
What did Ali Singh say about the $25 you found on her?
She said she earned it working at the her job at the diner.
What did the TTC operator tell you about the behavior of the kids at the scene?
He said that he saw them through the security camera and that they were first playing around. He didn't notice anything suspicious.
What did Jamie Watson say about her involvement in the incident?
She said she was present, but it was not involved in any robbery.
Did you see a man in the subway running away on the time of the incident?
No.
What specific evidence led you to arrest Ali Singh?
I found $25 on the person, and Miss King identified her.
No further questions.
You may step down. For the prosecution, you may call your second witness.
I would like to call my second witness to the stand, Ms. Morgan.
Will the witness please stand to be sworn in by the court clerk?
Please repeat after me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Could you tell the court your name, please?
My name is Morgan.
Welcome, Ms. King. Could you tell the court what you do for work?
I work in a bakery and I've worked there for the past year.
Wonderful. Could you describe the incidents from your perspective to the court?
Yeah, so on October 19th, I left my house a little bit before 4 p.m. I had my headphones on as I arrived at the Lawrence Bus subway station. I was there for a couple of minutes when I saw this person coming up to me with a couple of people behind them. I saw that they were yelling at me, so I removed my headphones, and that's when I heard them demand money and saying that I owed it to them. I then felt a gun pressed against me and them searching my pockets, and they took $25, my iPod, and then fled.
That must have been quite the scare. Could you tell us what happened after the incident?
After the incident, I saw this, one of the witnesses came up to me to help me, and she stayed with me until I noticed one of the people involved in my attack was alone at the end of the platform. And then the witness I was with called the police, and she stayed with me until the police came and brought me to the station where I gave a statement.
Do you have any relation to the accused?
No, I'd never met them before.
Now, our notes say you continued a conversation with the accused. Could you explain why?
I was attempting to mediate the situation. I thought that if I would be able to calm down the accused, that we'd be able to communicate better and resolve the situation.
This must have been quite the experience. Could you tell the court how it affected your life from that on?
Yes, so after the event, I have since been scared for my life. I have been traumatized by this event and paranoid to move on with my life, but the fear that they will return.
No further questions.
The defense may cross-examine.
Hello. Do you know a boy named Jake by any chance?
I do not know what going on.
No. You were wearing headphones during the incident, were you not? So thus you were not able to hear what they were saying before approaching you?
No, I took as they were approaching me, I had the headphones on, and when I saw that they were trying to talk to me, that's when I took my headphones out.
But you couldn't hear what they were saying before attempting to approach you?
I could faintly hear because they were yelling very loudly.
Okay. When the man approached you, the two girls were behind him, were they not?
Yes.
And when the man ended up turning and running out of the subway, the accused did not leave the station. She stayed in the station and just didn't seem to know what was going on.
She did stay in the station. I don't know if I would say she didn't know what was going on.
Would you say that in this situation you were very stressed and overwhelmed and not really sure what was going on?
I was stressed and overwhelmed, but I did know what was going on. I was aware.
Mm-hmm. And you said that the man is the one who approached you and pushed you to the wall, was he not?
He was one of them, yeah.
Okay, and you also said there was a gun involved.
There was.
So, in the event that the man was the one who approached you and pushed you against the wall, that shows that Ali Singh is not the one holding a gun, especially seeing as she was not found to have a gun on her by the police officer later. Would you say that seems right?
I was not able to tell exactly who had the gun. They were all kind of involved, but I cannot answer.
Okay, well, that's all the questions I have.
You guys still tell.
Alright. Your Honor, members of the jury, my name is Max, and my associate and I are here to represent Ali Singh. We intend to prove her innocence, and that the one who committed the crime was a boy by the name of Ty, who was with them at the incident. Ali was working her last shift the night of the incident. She had been recently let go, and she had lent $60 to a boy named Jake just recently, who she had not seen since. She met with her friend Jamie on the way to the subway, and a boy named Ty, who she had never met before. They entered the subway station together. When Ali saw someone she thought knew Jake, she thought was friends with him, she tried to yell to the girl and ask her if she knew him, but the girl was listening to music and did not hear them and thus did not respond. Ty then approached the girl, yelling at her, but she didn't respond until it got much closer. Ali was not aware of what Ty was doing and was in a state of shock as she didn't know what was happening. Ty pushed the victim against the wall and then ran off, pushing Ali over in the process. Ali did not leave the scene of the crime and instead waited there. There was no physical evidence found on Ali Singh, as she did not flee. The security cameras showed that she was not the one who pushed her to the wall. This should be proof that she was not aware of what was going on, as if she had stolen anything from her, she would have left the scene of the crime, and no physical evidence was ever found on Ali, other than money, which was tip money from her job. Alright. And another fact, but studies show that when people are stressed out, they have a hard time remembering incidents and remembering what happened. Eyewitness accounts can tend to be incredibly distorted, especially in a stressful situation. It makes it hard to remember what happened, especially when you don't know what's going on. This situation would have certainly been stressful and shocking for the victim, thus distorting her memory of the events, which I believe shows that this was not exactly what happened, and we should take the victim's testimony with a grain of salt. I hope this shows the innocence of the accused, and that she was not involved in the crime, and that she did not know what was going on. Rather, Ty decided to choose an unhinged route and steal from the victim, using that as leverage to try and get away. Thank you.
Defense, you may call your first witness.
I'd like to call Sam,
Someone
Jamie.
Will the witness please stand to be sworn in by the court? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
All right. How well did you know Ty?
Not well. I'd only met him a couple of times when he had been hanging out with my sister's boyfriend.
Okay. And how well did you know Ali?
We'd been friends for 3 years at that point. I would like to think I knew her quite well.
And would you say she's a very good and upstanding part of society?
I do believe that. She had never been in trouble with the law before.
That's good. And when she met with you, she had never met Ty before, hadn't she?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. When you entered the subway, do you know if Ali tried to contact the alleged victim?
Yes, she had walked over to somebody that she had claimed that she knew.
Do you believe that it was Ty who began yelling?
I do. They were both loud, but I do believe he was loud.
Mhm.
I do believe he initiated that.
And after the incident, Ty and you left the scene of the crime, but you did not leave with him as he ran off. Allie did stay there though, is that correct? She did not leave.
That is correct. I just did not have contact with her after that point.
Okay. And have you met with Ty since the incident?
No, I have not.
All right. And when Ty left, he also took the CDs, your CDs that you had just purchased that you were holding, and he left and did not try to return them to you.
That is correct.
And so do you believe that Ty had intent to steal the CDs from you before when he had originally met with you?
I did.
Okay, that's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Prosecution may cross-examine the witness.
Ms. McKenna Cheslock. Ms. Watson, I would like to start by clarifying you have a criminal record, is that correct? Yes, I do. And what is that for? I was charged with shoplifting, but the charges were dropped.
I was hoping to gain some insight on your relationship with the defendant. What sort of relationship do you have with her?
We were best friends for 3 years.
And based on this relationship, would you have ever suspected her of doing anything like this?
No, like I said before, she had never been in trouble before.
And from your point of view, how did losing her job affect her?
I would say it affected her quite badly. Obviously, everybody needs to make a living.
To your knowledge, does she own a firearm?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And is Ty?
I do not. No, I had only seen him a couple times prior to that.
Do you know where she went after you and Ty left?
I have no idea. I had run after Ty, so I was not concerned with where Allie was at the moment.
Did you reconvene with Miss Singh at any point after the incident?
No, the first time I've seen her since then is today.
Thank you for your time. I have no further questions.
You may step down. Defense, you may call your second witness.
Will the stand, Allie Singh?
Will the witness please stand? Clerk. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I did.
Tell the court your name, loud and clear.
Allie Singh.
How long did you work at the Sunset Diner and what was your duties there?
I worked there for about 6 months and I was a server.
What was your relationship with Jake and why did you lend him $60?
He was nothing but my coworker and I was just trying to be nice.
What were your activities on October 19th from your shift at the diner until you met Jamie and Ty?
I was just leaving the diner after I got off work and I had bumped into them and they asked if I wanted to go see a movie back at Jamie's place.
What was your intention when you approached the person in the Raptors jersey?
I just wanted to know if she knew Jake so I could possibly get the $60 back that I lent.
How did Ty react when you called out to the person and what did you do in response to Ty's actions?
He became really aggressive and was like yelling at the person in the Raptors jersey, so I was just trying to calm him down and tell him it wasn't really that important and I didn't really insist about it.
What happened after Ty confronted the person and then suddenly ran away?
I attempted to chase him, but I tripped on the stairs, so I decided I didn't really want to go see a movie because he was being aggressive, so I decided to take the train home.
Why did you decide to stay on the platform after Ty and Jamie left?
As I said, because Ty was being very aggressive and I decided if he was going to be like that, then I didn't want to go watch the movie with him.
What was your intention in approaching the person in the Raptors jersey?
I just wanted to know if she knew Jake and if I could get my $60 back.
Have you ever been involved in any criminal activities before?
No, I have not.
You, that's all questions I have.
You may step down. The prosecution may cross-examine the witness.
Miss Singh, I would like to begin by having you recount what brought you to the scene of the crime.
I was coming off my shift at the diner and I met Jamie and Ty and they asked if I wanted to see a movie.
You recently lost your job and lent someone money, so you're short on money, is that correct?
Yes, I did just lend someone money and I did just lose my job.
Can you confirm that the victim, Morgan King, to your knowledge, is friends with Jake, who borrowed money from you?
Yes, I did know her as a friend of Jake's.
And how did losing your job affect you?
Although it was a little upsetting, I did understand that it does get slow in the winter, so.
If you believe Ty to be responsible for the incident, why is he not here on trial?
Ejection irrelevant.
Stand.
Is Ty, oh my god.
I'm actually not sure.
How long did you leave the scene?
Not very long ago, maybe 5 minutes. I tried to chase Ty and Jamie, but I did end up tripping, so I just went back.
And are you a fast runner?
Let's say fast.
Can you quickly hide things?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Despite this, 5 minutes would have provided ample time to hide the gun in the iPod, is that correct?
Maybe.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
You may step down. Both the prosecution and defense have now rested their cases. The attorneys will now present their final arguments. Please remember what the attorneys say is not evidence. However, if you listen closely, they are intended to aid you in understanding the case. Defense, you may begin.
Members of the jury, Ali Singh, a 16-year-old no prior criminal record, is unjustly accused of theft, assault, and uttering threats. On October 19th, Ali simply sought information about Jake, a former coworker who owed them money. Officer Dakota Lim found no weapon or stolen iPod on Ali, only $25 that she got from tips from the diner. The TTC operator did not hear or notice any disturbance until the officer arrived. Security footage showed no clear evidence of a crime. Morgan King's identification of Ali was made under stress and may be mistaken. Jamie Watson denied any involvement in aggression, behavior, or theft. The prosecution's case is inconsistent and lacks concrete evidence. Ali's actions were non-aggressive and consistent with seeking information. Ali Singh should not be convicted based on unclear and inconsistent testimony. There is significant reasonable doubt regarding Ali's involvement in any criminal activity. I urge you to find Ali Singh not guilty. Thank you.
Prosecution, you may proceed with your argument.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, during this trial, we called upon 2 witnesses to testify the defendant's guilt. With these testimonies, among other evidence, we have established the following facts beyond reasonable doubt. The defendant, Ali Singh, without the consent of the victim, applied force with a deadly weapon. 2, the defendant stole property of Morgan King amounting to $25 in the iPod of the victim. And 3, Ali Singh threatened Morgan King. Through her testimony, we can see how shaken the incident has left Ms. King, and the defendant's flippant attitude for the duration of the case shows lack of concern and remorse. Ali Singh admittedly left the scene of the crime, allowing her plenty of time to hide the gun and iPod. The defendant also admitted to being short on cash and thought there was a relation between the man who owed her money and our victim, establishing a motive. The defendant had clear intent, thus establishing the necessary mens rea and actus reus. We ask that you reject the defense theories upon this case. The defense argues that as no gun or iPod were found, Ms. Singh must not be guilty. Despite this, she was found with the exact amount of money stolen from Ms. King and had the time needed to hide the missing evidence. Furthermore, the defense called upon an unreliable witness to the stand who had a record of shoplifting. The defense tried to discredit the crime by witness by claiming she would have been unable to hear. However, Ms. King still had complete visibility and later took out her headphones. Ms. Singh must be held accountable for her actions. It is a foundational aspect of our justice system to protect the public. And this is what I ask you to do. Protect the public by finding the defendant guilty as charged. I thank you for your time and service to the community.
Your Honor, may I have a rebuttal?
Sustained.
All right. I'd like to first say that our witness is reliable as the charges were dropped, so that's the first thing. And we'd like to say that Ali Singh clearly not be found guilty as no physical evidence was found, and a simple testimony from a victim who clearly could not remember the incident very well is not enough to convict someone to show that they're guilty. I believe it'd be wrong to put someone in prison with such little evidence against them, and I believe that we must have her be innocent until we can find physical evidence to prove that she would have actually done it. Until then, I believe there's not enough evidence in this case to actually show that she committed a crime.
We have a minute to discuss this rebuttal. being dropped, the witness still committed the crime. And evidence was found, the $25 was found, and the fact that it was the exact amount that the victim claimed to have, this would be suspicious under other circumstances, and even more suspicious as the victim testified that it was Ali Singh. And Morgan was level-headed throughout the attack and attempted to mediate the situation until it became more aggressive. Thank you.
Members of the jury, you have heard all the testimony concerning this case. It is now up to you to determine the facts. You and you alone are the judges of the fact. Once you decide what facts the evidence proves, you must then apply the law as I give it to you, to the facts as you find them. One count of assault as per section 265 of the Criminal Code of Canada. One count of theft as per section 322 of the Criminal Code of Canada. And one count of uttering threats as per section 264.1 of the Criminal Code of Canada. In just a moment, the bailiff will take you to the jury room to consider your verdict. One of the first things you're going to do is select a foreperson that will preside over your deliberations, the way a chairperson does in a meeting. It will be the foreperson's duty to sign the verdict form when you have agreed on a verdict. Whatever the verdict you render must be unanimous. That is, each and every person must agree on the same verdict. The court clerk will now escort you to the deliberation.
All right. You may be seated. Kevin, you can pause it right now.
We, the jury, in the case of R versus Singh, of assault, threats, and theft.
Thank you, jury, for your service today. Court is adjourned.
Yay!